Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Historical Humans Reacts. Today, there was some breaking news. The origins of the Black Plague have been traced down. Scientists have finally cracked the age old question of where did the plague originate? And it is all over the news. We have a lovely Guardian news article popping up, so you know when it makes it to mainstream media that it is quite the news.
Well, it is actually quite important when traditional you know black and white print publishers are covering it and not just certain clickbaity podcast personalities.
I have no idea what you mean.
There's no tension here whatsoever. Why do people keep saying there's tension?
I don't think anyone ever said that. But the cool thing about this is while it has hit mainstream media and it's coming into public light, there actually is a Nature article about it, which is going to be the page I have on my screen right now, which kind of turns it and takes it into a digestible form versus the actual scientific article, which we also have picked up. But I think the general gist of the article, do we just dive right into it? Let's.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, just jump right in. So for those of you who or may not know, or as you're probably already familiar if you're watching this, the Black Plague or the bubonic plague was a massive freaking disease that ravaged its way throughout the entirety of Europe and northern Africa for about 500 years.
And we just couldn't really pinpoint where it come from.
Yeah. No one really knew where it came from. It was believed to have come from somewhere to the east of Europe, but no one could have a precise point. There was no record of, and then the plague rats came.
But one of the earliest examples of the plague that we know of comes from between 1346 and 1353, where the city of Kaffa on the Crimean Peninsula was being sieged by the Mongol army and had begun to see a huge death wave after that.
Yes, because nothing like tightly packing people in the middle of a war to bring out the plague.
You,
No, nothing at all.
you know, they the saying is, April showers bring Mayflowers, Mayflowers bring smallpox. I feel like the Mongol horde also just brings the Black Plague, the bubonic plague. Just brings that along with them.
I don't think they really wanted it. I'm just gonna say I don't think they were too happy about it being there either. This isn't launching the severed heads of your enemies at people. This is, oh crap, everyone is dying horribly.
Yeah, and I think one of the important things to point out here with this and with these articles is, as Colm previously mentioned, we do know that the origins of the plague come from Asia, and we do know that it came along the Silk Road and that a lot of trade, because you can see as this happens the progression of death and the progression of villages falling ill into this. When they say scientists are now understand the origins, they think they know the general region and vicinity in which it originates from.
Yeah, and the Silk Valley is, of course, the very famous ancient trade route that connected China with the Mediterranean Sea. It is a massive trade route that covers multiple empires and saw essentially luxury goods from Asia flow to the Mediterranean and cash and more utilitarian materials go from the Mediterranean back to Asia.
For those of you playing along at home, this is also part of the reason why a lot of adventurers were looking for routes to Asia, because this took a long time to traverse and there were a lot of stops along the way.
Yep, including several periodically openly hostile empires.
We don't talk about that though. Our Empire series is further down the line. Stay tuned for more.
I will have my day with the Ottomans.
But what they ended up doing was they tested marmots and other rodents in Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and the Xinjiang province in northwestern China, surrounding the Tian Shan mountain range.
Yep. Yeah, and the evidence points to the earliest, I guess, spike in deaths by the plague to the Chu Valley in Kyrgyzstan. I swear I'm not just making Pokemon noises.
Yeah, so Kyrgyzstan, it seems to be the origin of where the virus came from. And then, like we mentioned, the Silk Road, as they traversed that path and passageway, it ends up bringing the disease with it, unfortunately. And I don't think we mentioned it, but the bacteria that causes the plague is Yersinia pestis.
Yeah.
But they did a bunch of science and scientific approaches where they studied genomes and they did DNA pathologies of the ancient pathogens. It is all stuff that is way over my pay grade.
Well, basically, it's there's a lot of pathology and there's a lot of looking at there's they're looking at two cemeteries in particular that seem to have a strange uptick in deaths with the remains, I believe, having some semblance of appearing to have been at least infected prior to their death, if not killed by said infection.
And
It's amazing what you can tell from a skeleton.
and not only just the skeleton, but they also look at tombstones. So I have a picture pulled up here of some of the tombstones, and they actually are really great because it's stone. They keep record, and that effectively was their death certificate. That was saying how they usually died. So,
Yeah.
you know, a bit of an educated guess as such there.
Yeah. Yeah, and just checking. I'm trying to coordinate it on my screen a little bit before we bring it to you, but I do have a bit of an image of the Silk Road's routes out of Asia towards what is now Turkey and Israel.
Okay.
Just trying to match it up so I can tell you right about where these valleys are. Just need one more second. So that is... All right, yeah, I think I got it. So if you cut to my screen.
You're gonna have to share your screen or send me the.
I apologize. That is that default is breaking.
Just send me the link and I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I got it. It's sharing.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sorry, I was clicking the button. So we see the red line here. These are the various routes of the Silk Road here. This is the Encyclopedia Britannica's map. The area we're looking at is, as I understand, is just sort of to the west of this lake here. So it's just north of the Silk Road. It's not too hard of a connection. You just sort of link up with this river, follow it down to the line just east of Samarkand. You just hook up with the road right there, and that's where this valley is. It's not too much of a jump. A lot of people I know just assume that like it goes through India and that's the only route. It is not. India is just one of the roads that make up the Silk Road.
Wonderful.
Yeah, just wanted to bring that in.
All right.
Ready to switch back?
Yep. If you want to stop sharing your screen.
Yep.
All
there we go.
Yes, we are giants now.
Hooray! Wonderful things we do when I mess with the technology.
Yes, we have a system.
This is why I'm not allowed to touch things, and I always touch them.
But it's interesting. It's nice to get this confirmation, and like I said, we've had a good general understanding of where it was to begin with, and this just really cements that knowledge and cements that understanding, and we can really pinpoint it to this area, and it helps with epidemiologists, helps with disseminating how the virus spread, in what ways, during what time frames. And it was obviously breaking news if the mainstream finally picked up on it, so we figured it'd be worth talking about. But I think this is probably the good point to wrap up here. Let's not take too long.
The last thing to say is, like, this is the, we have, to emphasize the significance of this, scientists have found the source of the deadliest plague in all of human history. And that is including Corona.
So far.
Yeah, so far. Look, Corona's got another 700 years to catch up with this guy, but this was worse than even Corona has been.
But on that note, if you guys like this video, be sure to like the video. If you want to see something different, or if you want us to react to different content, be sure to comment that down below. And be sure to hit subscribe, because it really helps us out. And if you want to see more content, it'll bring it right to your subscription boxes. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.